So there's a few things we need to do before we export this out for laser cutting. First is any of your etched parts, you'll need to extrude them all the way through. So this means I have to go back and find out where I've etched this. So this part here, whenever you click on that, it'll show where it is down here in your timeline. So I can see it's this extrusion, and I can double click on this one and I can edit that feature. So if I double click on it, I just want to cut extrude that all the way through. So now there's a hole in there. And the reason why is when we export this out for the laser cutter, it will recognize this as a line, and we can choose whether it's etched or whether it's cut. So cut it out at this point. Obviously, when we go to laser cut it, we can choose to etch it. All right, so back into the sheet metal section, and you can click on Create Flat Pattern, and you'll need to choose a stationary surface. I'm going to choose the front face, hit OK. So it creates a flat pattern of my design, which I can then export as a DXF file. I'm just going to call this one on my desktop. Choose where you save it, and then you're going to want to open up a program called Adobe Illustrator, and we'll open up that file that we just exported out. So that was on my desktop. It's called MM. Now, when you go to import it into Illustrator, you'll want to make sure you have scale by 100 and 1 scale equals 1 units, but you need the units to be millimeters. And as soon as you change it to millimeters, this one will change. So change this one up. 1 equals 1 millimeter. And OK. So this is your flat pattern. Now it's going to create a couple of lines where your fold is. You only need one of these, the middle one. So you can click on the one either side and delete them out. You want to keep the middle one because you want to use that as a guide for where you're going to fold it. Now, in my design, I want this to be etched. I don't want it to be cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill that in with black. So double click on the color down here. Choose the color you want to make it. You should fill that in. Got there. If you've got multiple shapes, let me know. I'll give you a hand joining those shapes together. Now, anything that is black will be etched. So it won't be cut all the way through. It will just be etched on the surface. And to make it cut, which you'll need to do for the outside edge, you'll need to change the color and the stroke. Now the color will need to be, if we go up to here, if you don't see this toolbar at the top, you'll need to click on Essentials Classic. So just there. So click on the box. We're going to add a new swatch, and that's going to be RGB if it's not already chosen. RGB red and none of the other colors. So 255 on the red, 0 green, 0 blue. So you can see my line is red now. And I need to change the stroke, that's the thickness of the line, down to 0.01 of a millimeter. And you'll barely be able to see this thing once it's done. Cool. Now, anything that is red and 0.01 will cut, and anything that is black will etch. The laser cutter automatically picks up on that. And the other thing you want to do is bring this up right into the top left-hand corner, as close as you can, and then you want to file save. You want to copy this one to the USB, and then you'll be able to laser cut this file.